The new autumn update in Cast and Chill just dropped, and today I am diving into the new fishing spot, Autumnwood Lake, and it's not just a peaceful getaway. I've got a shiny new rod, a loyal dash hound companion, and 8 fresh new fish species waiting to be reeled in. But that's not all. There are 5 new achievements to unlock, and 2 mighty monsters lurking beneath the surface. What seems like a laid-back weekend could turn into a high-stakes, rod-snapping showdown with some of the biggest beasts in the game. So come with me as I finish all the new content that Cast and Chill has to offer. Instead of using my previous 100% save from the last Cast and Chill video I made, I decided it would be more fun to start all over again. And boy, was I wrong. Honestly, it was more tedious than I had previously realized, as the amount of fishing required to save enough cash is kind of brutal. If you're trying to get somewhere quickly, that is. Luckily, the Autumnwood Lake region is just over halfway through the list of unlockable licenses, which isn't as bad as adding it to the very end. But regardless, I must catch a ton of fish before I can get enough cheddar to pay my way. Unfortunately, I started off in the rinkiest of dinkiest boats, and I had forgotten how slow this thing was. Luckily, it doesn't impede my actual casting and reeling speeds. I also brought my Maine Coon cat Chunk along this time. And if you're here to see my dash hound Dylan Spruce, don't worry, that boy will come with me when I get to Autumnwood Lake. But for now on the Golden Fork River, I cast out my bobber from my little guppy fishing rod and catch what I can until I can buy the crankbait lure so I can get some more pricier fish like the smallmouth bass. I go on a tear snagging some of these small to medium sized fish and even a few brown trout before getting a new lure for the walleye. Even though the sale price for these fish isn't that great, Rusty tells me of another location down the river that will be much more profitable. In the beaver dam, I was able to catch quite bigger brown trout, enough to get me the money to buy the Maple Scout rod. This rod can net me bigger and better fish, which it does very well. I then get as many larger brown trout and walleye back at the fork as I can until I can get the new lure for the catfish. My fishing cat sure loves that. These bring in a lot more moolah for me, even enough to purchase a license for Fawn Mirror Lake. And of course you know the big nut had to buy a new boat. The nut loves his new boat. Anyway, here at Fawn Mirror Lake, under the clear full moon sky, all I can see below me are money signs. The cycle continues from here. I grind, I resell, Rusty tells me somewhere new to fish. I grind, I sell, Rusty sells me some new lures and upgrades for my gear. This is when I notice a new reeling animation for my little fisher guy. Along with this comes more updates to the game that I convinced myself were always there since I had 100%ed it. But looking at the recent updates, I was very wrong. Also new is the ability to let the line out in order to let the fish run. The line visibly going slack is also new and looks excellent. After purchasing the Grizzly license and about 3 hours of fishing, and of course skipping ice water altogether, I finally had enough money to buy a license for Autumnwood Lake. But before we get to the new location, let me talk about this video of this guy kayak fishing on the ocean where a great white shark is stalking him. It's pretty intense and terrifying if I'm being honest. You actually couldn't pay me to be out there and that exposed in the open. But seeing that video made me think about how cool it would be to have predators in the deep water in this game. Maybe only in the ocean locations, and they're not there to bite your boat or anything, but rather just numb off your catch as you reel it up. Maybe that's not a very chill idea for a cozy game, but maybe we could compromise and add a prehistoric location to the game where you would be able to catch scarier looking creatures, or maybe a dredge and Cast and Chill crossover. Anyway, now let's fish in Autumnwood Lake. Whoa. Before you get any further, I need you to do one thing for me. Just hit that subscribe button down there. And if you like the content that I make, check out the channel memberships. It really helps me out and I have tons planned for it. So I'll see you there. Thanks. Okay, back to the video. This new region is beautiful. And look, I have a new companion with me. May I introduce my dash hound, Dylan Spruce. Dylan has always been in the shadows of our past companions, but now is his time to shine in this co-headlining role. At the Shallows Edge spot on Autumnwood Lake, there are some very interesting new fish. Some are similar to the other fish we've already seen, like the hybrid bass. But then we have the pea mouth. You want me to do what in your mouth? Somewhere while trying to catch the more expensive fish, I was releasing a few smaller ones and managed to snag one of them again. This got me the achievement, It's You Again. This is when I finally go into Rusty's shop to purchase the Phantom line. Along with this came the whispers of a new location, Otter Cove. This new rod and location will help me obtain the live bait achievement. In order to get this, I need to catch a fish using another fish. And while I was able to get a few bites from a larger fish with my little guppy rod, I was unable to haul such a large fish up with it. So with this new rod being able to catch small and large fish, I should stand a better chance. I quickly snagged a small pea mouth on my line and waited for one of the larger pike minnows to snag on, but it seemed like he was only interested on ones that weren't on my line. After about 5 minutes of waiting around, I finally got a bite and hauled that sucker up, granting me my second achievement. After hauling up some other new fish and upgrading more of my gear, I finally felt ready enough to go after the ginormous white sturgeon, which can apparently grow up to over 200 pounds. So I equipped the swim bait lure and the heftiest rod I had, and off to find it I went, which actually didn't take very long. I thought I would have had to cycle through a couple different times of day before it showed up, but I was lucky enough to find him on the first search. And once I did get him to bite, he sure was a force to be reckoned with. Knowing how big they could get, I knew this wasn't going to be easy, and I was right. This fight felt like an eternity, and I knew one of us had to give in eventually, and unfortunately, that was me. I reeled a little bit too hard and lost him after more than a 2-minute fight, which actually nabbed me the one that got away achievement. On my second cast for him, he must have been exhausted because I hauled him aboard almost instantly. This also got me the legendary landlocked lunker achievement. It also brought in more than 1,500 bucks, solving all of my financial woes. Now now with 4 out of the 5 achievements and the last one being back at Shallow's Edge, I just needed one last trophy fish at Otter Cove. And let me tell you, this trophy weight large scale sucker was a pain in my bottom to get. But after catching like 5 others, I eventually got him. I ended up purchasing the Loon Chaser boat as I had plenty of money from that sturgeon sale, and finally headed back to the Shallow's Edge to find the Monster Channel catfish and obtain the final achievement. Before going for the catfish though, I had to first catch the trophy weight hybrid bass. While looking for the bass, I managed to spot the massive catfish, and I can't confirm he was a beefy boy. After catching 4 other bass, I finally got the trophy weight and now can finally go after my fine whiskered friend. Now equipped with a heavy drop shot lure and the grizzly pole, I cast out in an attempt to bring this big beast home. He bit, and this is where a fierce tug of war began. For most of the fight, he was staying deep, and that was stressing me out. But Dylan, well, he was just happy to be in the scene. For what felt like an eternity, we battled. One man, one monster, one fragile thread of line between us. My reel screamed in protest, my line slicing through the water as the beast dove deep, my muscles burning with every pull. It thrashed, it rolled, it refused to surface, and just when I thought my grip would give out, the catfish broke the surface. Massive and glistening, flinging water into the golden autumnwood air. Victory had never tasted so hard-won or so sweet. This got me the legendary Whiskered Warrior achievement. Catching that catfish prompted Rusty to sell me the new Copperleaf 86. A beautiful new rod equipped with a sneaky fluoro line and capable of catching the likes of double XL sized fish. Although I didn't need it to continue on after fishing Autumnwood Lake, I could definitely use it in June 2026 when the new Eastern Winds DLC drops, which will allow us to check out a brand new region full of cherry blossoms, bamboo groves, and ancient shrines. And of course, new fish. If you'd like to see me 100% the rest of Cast and Chill, check out this video over here. And if you want to see me take on the DLC when it comes out, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, bye.